Hey, what is going on, IK Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are back again for another dope sauce, dopity IK video. Today, I really wanted to talk about something interesting and kind of to more so put the idea out there and also gauge interest on, how many people might be interested in something like this. So this is kind of going to be like the part of it's going to be kind of jumper project talks. We'll talk about possible kind of project on server revivals, possibly heading to another server, right? And really just more so of wanting to put this out there to kind of share the idea and of course gauge some interest. Before I do officially start, of course, make sure you guys sub, like, ring that notification button if you want to join and be a part of our conversation. You can hit up our Discord, which you can find in the description and pin comment down below. Okay, so where am I even going with all of this? So I had this idea that I had been thinking about for a while, and it's something that I've done a little bit before in other kingdom builders, but I haven't had an opportunity yet to really try it in IK. And I think one of the biggest things I've realized during my time playing IK so far is that there are a lot of like-minded individuals out there. And specifically, you'll find these people in probably almost everywhere you go, right? Whether it's a player, if it's an officer, it's a lead, right? You for the most part can probably almost always find people that are players that would love to kind of play in the way that you like to play. And a brief example of that could be, you're someone who just likes a lot of war. You'll find people that like a lot of war. Maybe you just want to have one alliance that takes over a kingdom. You'll find some people that want to do that. Maybe you'll find people that just want there to be one faction that takes over a kingdom. You'll find some people that want to do that too. And pretty much anything and everything in between and beyond. And so for me specifically, I know there's a lot of people out there that, truly believe and have believed in not only me, but in my vision, in the system that I've wanted to implement in kingdoms. And whether you were someone who played in server 8, if you were someone who played in 36, if you're someone who played in 79, if you were a part of our project, if you were a part of, well, I should say my project in this case, right, but essentially ours once we got in there, right, and you were with me in the beginning, or if you came on board as an officer or a lead and you were privy to our conversations, channel discussions, topics, if you attended town halls, right, that there was a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of passion, a lot of commitment and perseverance at times that I myself put in to every single one of the projects that I've been a part of. And it's funny because I was thinking about this and I was talking to a couple people from S8. And what I realized when I went back to go and look there at like just some of the current leads is, from what I was able to gather, there's almost no kind of OG leaders there that are in those current lead positions back from when we came into S8 with our project, right? And if obviously things didn't go down the way they did, right, I would still be there. And I think it's very important when, right, if you want servers and kingdoms in one way, in one factor, to sustain themselves, right, to have a percentage chance, a higher chance of sustaining, you need consistency, you need stability. And part of that is having consistency and stability, right, in your leadership, right? People that are familiar faces, right? They're there for a while. Usually, something that factors into kind of destabilization is having, constant rotations of leaders or officers, and that is something that at times can factor, and there can always be a percentage chance that it will. It just depends on how high or how low that will be, right? Given the circumstances of what's happening in those servers or kingdoms. And so then the idea came to me on, well, what if I just went out and gathered, right? And as far as one idea, right? What if I went out and gathered and just found, just looked for like-minded individuals, right? Players that could be potential leaders, players that could be potential officers, just general players that were interested in migrating. And what if we just put together a big enough team, right? A big enough group that we're all willing to go and migrate to a server together, right? People that really wanted to be a part of something that I was going to build, right? They wanted to be a part of something that they know I would be leading. And then I started thinking to myself, well, man, the interesting benefit here of doing something like that compared to doing a jumper project is that usually players are more serious about it if they have to spend money and or a decent slash significant amount of time to gather the amount of space teleports they need to actually then migrate, right? So usually when you're doing a jumper project, right, it's brand new players, right? For the most part, when you're doing a jumper project, you are getting a lot of new players. The majority of them are going to be free to play, and you're only going to have a smaller percentage or a minority, right, usually, of veterans. And that's pretty consistent across every jump project. It's been that way for all 7 of the projects that I've done. But the difference here is that it's essentially doing a project, except instead of it really being a jumper project, it's actually more of a migration project, right? And so that's what I really started to think about was, sure, it's so easy. I could effortlessly do another jumper project. But I think doing a migration project, right, just gathering people that are interested in migrating to a server, either that is semi-active or is low activity, right, but has the potential for a rebuild, could be very interesting. And anyways, with that being said, right, I would love to know what you guys think, right? This is something that I know there's a lot of players out there that would love to come. And if you want to say like kind of like a sports metaphor, right? If you want to come in, well, not a sports metaphor, but I guess like a sports saying, right? If you want to come and play for me, right? Like, how there's certain players out there that want to go and play for certain coaches, right, in sports because they really believe in them, or they want to go to a certain school because they believe in the program that's being ran and taught there or implemented. And so I think something similar like that could potentially happen here. And I feel like I'm having like this Jimmy Neutron brain blast epiphany right now as I'm talking it all out. But I would really love to know, right, if you are a player, if you are an alliance that's interested in migrating somewhere, if you are someone who feels like you could be a good officer supporting role, if you're someone who feels like you could be a good leader, if you're someone that follows me, if you're privy, if you're aware of the systems that I've implemented in servers, right, and even if you just look at the track record of success, you look at a server like Server 8, right, they were the number one strongest server for I think 2 or 3 data collections that I've done. Right, I built the foundation there, right, before Server 8 was anything, right, it was a jump project first and foremost, right, that's where the foundation for how that server built, and then prior to migration opening, near day 90, that's when I left, but there was a lot of recruitment that was done on my part, some from others as well, that went into a lot of people coming over there. Similar thing with 79. You look at 79 and you look now, they're, number 9, right, for strongest servers, at least between groups 71 and 80 for those servers, right? And they were able to build themselves up. Why? Well, because of the group that I started, right? Because of the project I started, because of the vision I had. And then in addition to that, because of the people that joined, that I always believed and hoped that, really trusted and had faith in that vision. And at least for the time that they did, right, when it comes to the people in management, we were able to get to a fantastic point together, right, because of that unification during that time. And so, again, there's a track record of you see me come in, you see me lead a project, right, lead a server, right, making good decisions and having good quality discussions, with our people in management, so we can make sure that decisions that are being made, right, are in the best interest of the players, right, and the alliances that are there. Something I can say without a doubt, right, that I and at times, right, our group as a collective has always done. And I could not be more proud of that, especially for the times that I was in 8 and 79, with those two servers kind of going more of the distance, if you will, to make a Hercules reference, than 36 itself went. And so, anyways, with that being said, I would really love to know your guys' thoughts here. Again, I'm kind of spitballing, but I would love to hear from anyone right in the comments, right? Do you think maybe doing a migration project this time around could be something interesting? Are you a server out there that would potentially be interested in having me come on and, pretty much manage, kind of lead the server? Are you players that are thinking to yourself, man, I really would love the opportunity to do an actual jumper project with Boss and just start over from a new server, right? Let me know anything and everything you guys are thinking in the comments down below. I would really love to hear your thoughts. And I feel like we're on to something here, but I definitely want to get some feedback, and see if kind of what I'm putting out there, if what I'm putting out anyone's picking up, or what I'm putting down is people picking up. Yeah, I think that's not to make like a litter reference or anything, but with that being said, that is it for me. Those are my thoughts, the ideas, some of my ramblings, if you will, and I guess I'll just wait to read some opinions and feedback from y'all, the community. All right, that is it for me. Until next time, we'll catch y'all later.